suppose for me the main challenges and issues facing rural communities in Northern Ireland at the minute, or some of them anyway, would be emigration, certainly young people. I know in my own area and lots of parts of Tyrone that lots of young people are leaving, heading to find work in England, in Australia, in America to a lesser extent. So a big issue and a big challenge is trying to develop rural areas, develop work and develop opportunities.
Okay, well I suppose some of the main issues facing rural communities at the minute from an Ulster GA's point of view, of course it would be depopulation, a lot of people choosing to move to urban areas. In terms of us trying to keep our clubs, or particularly our rural clubs, going, it's about keeping our membership sustained, and I suppose families now are traditionally not having large families anymore, so even the families that are remaining in rural areas often aren't having the same number of children and so forth, so this is really affecting a lot of our rural clubs. So in terms of what the GA are doing, I suppose the GA club in terms of the rural setting creates a real sense of identity for rural areas, and often it's the only thing or one of few resources that are actually operating in a rural setting, so it's very important that we keep those clubs, particularly those rural clubs, going with very limited resources, very limited volunteering opportunities and very little playing opportunities. So again, it's just about us reinforcing what it does mean to be from a rural community in terms of the sporting element of that, and I suppose allowing males, females, people with disabilities, the young, the old, all to get a valuable sense of belonging to that community, possibly through their GA club.
Hi, my name's Joanne McDowell from the Big Lottery Fund, and I'm delighted to be here at Making a Difference today. In terms of how we might work better together with the Rural Development Council, I think it's about how rural organisations can think really solutions based. There's lots of really good ideas in rural communities in Northern Ireland, and we'd like to work with others to support those. In terms of programmes, there's always a need for young people projects to think about how we can make sure that they're included, but equally as well at the other age range of spectrum, thinking about how we can engage. Isolation is a massive issue for older people in Northern Ireland, but particularly rural isolation is key in the future.
One of the main issues would be emigration and work. Young people having to leave the area to get work. The other main issues would be with planning. There's a lot of problems with planning, especially the renewable energy plans that are going through. We're living in an area of outstanding natural beauty, and yet we're troubled with big companies coming in, applying for wind farms and that, and it's destroying the area that we live in. And we're spending, instead of working on issues to do with the area, we are all the time watching the papers and concentrating on meetings and trying to find out what exactly is going on.
In my area, the main issues would be around low capacity, working with rural groups and trying to deliver training and building trust with the groups. At the minute, a lot of the groups would be relying mostly on volunteers, and very few would have paid employees.
The main issues I see in the rural areas are really further development of the rural economy and improving employment for many people, especially young people who have been all too often leaving our shores. Essentially, I see the agri-food industry as one way in which this could be addressed. It has been demonstrated to have grown substantially over the last number of years, and will provide further opportunities in the years going forward, particularly with the objectives of the Agri-Food Strategy Board.
The issues that are facing, the main issues and challenges facing the rural area at present to me would be the young people, the amount of young people. For example, in a class of maybe 25, there's about 18 where I live going, different parts of the world. Percentage of them may come back, a percentage of them will not come back. It is good for young people to go for a while, but certainly to stay away, the population will decrease. The other thing is, I'm in an area where broadband is an absolute disaster. We do not have broadband. People working from home cannot work at home. They have no access. There's been things put up for the help, and at this moment in time, cities have, I don't know, many megabytes of broadband, and yet not in our local area we don't have any. I mean, I have a family member who doesn't have broadband at all, cannot get it from anything, or will not be getting it. So I think we're disadvantaged in that area, and that's a challenge for the rural areas. Something I'm very passionate about, would like to see that